welcome to the award-winning InWheelTime Car Talk Show. Just ahead, Shelby Files. Gary Peterson, president of Shelby American, joins us, we hope. Also, I'll give you my thoughts on driving the 2025 Buick Envista, and Jeff has the Motor Minute. It's coming up in this segment of the InWheelTime Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. David Ainsley, our chief engineer, is...
David Ainsley. Ainsley.
Is David around? No, he's not here.
No.
You know, he's getting the material. He's making a kissing booth for Granbury.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's going to be in the kissing booth?
I think he's running it himself. Yeah.
Is he?
He's going to run it by hand.
Are you going to go kiss him?
No, he's going to run it by hand. He's fine.
He's used to running it by hand.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, then you'll have to. Yes?
He's got it. He understands.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we're all on the same... We're all on the same page.
We are.
You know, I'm not on any page this morning, and I can't explain why, but, well, I can, because it's me.
Yes.
There you go, Robert Plant.
Robert Plant.
Turn the page.
Turn the page.
No, that's Bob Seger. Sorry.
All right.
I'm thinking Jimmy Page. Never mind. Welcome.
Well, you go ahead.
No, I was thinking I was in the music thing in
All
my
right.
head.
Yeah?
Scott is here.
Yes.
Scott is
No,
here.
Gary's here. I'm sorry. I was looking the wrong page. I'm not on the same page as
And
you.
know,
either.
start over.
There's a lot of finger pointing going on here, and I'm just sitting here waiting for something to happen. And apparently Mr. Mars is down there, and
He's directing the show today.
he is. So you just go right ahead, Mr. Mars.
There you go.
Gary, it looks like Gary is here.
Gary, how you doing? I'm going to put you up.
Can you hear Gary?
I can hear Gary.
Hey, can you hear Gary?
I can hear Gary.
How you doing, Michael?
Hey, good morning. Glad you could join us.
Yeah, hey, it's great to be here. You know, I wish you guys were here. It's a little damp, but we're having a good time anyway. And we've got the new GT350 wanted to talk to you guys about.
Wow. So where are you damp at? Where are you holding this?
Well, it's raining outside. So it's Carlisle, Pennsylvania. We've got, on a nice day, we would typically have about 3,500 of our closest friends here.
Wow.
Actually, cars, and then there's, at least 2 people per car. So lots of people here. So
Wonderful. That's
you
good
should
stuff.
come out here sometime.
So I understand that this is a Ford event, and you,
Yes.
sir, are the president of the Shelby American Car Club?
Yeah. So I'm president of Shelby American. So the
Shelby,
company
okay.
that
Not just the car
modifies
club.
cars. Not the club. It's actually the company that modifies the cars.
I see. Okay. So, and if I'm not mistaken, isn't there a Shelby facility in Las Vegas?
That's correct.
Is
That's
that-
where my office is.
Oh, my God. Are you broke all the time?
Well, yeah, because I'm an enthusiast, so I keep looking out there, and we build cool stuff, and then I want it in my own garage.
You know, you can't go to the racetrack out there without going
It is.
past your shop out there.
Yeah, it's a difficult place to work because then you got to have toys. But I'll tell you what, it's been basically the last 3 decades have been pretty good.
So explain
We've
to
had a lot
everybody,
of fun with it.
explain to everybody how Shelby American works with Ford Motor Company to make a Shelby.
Okay, so our company started 62, actually, so that'd be 63 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So we started for 63 years ago, and we took an AC chassis, and we modified that and put a Ford engine in it. That eventually evolved 60 years ago to where we had the first Shelby Mustang, the GT350. And so we took a regular Mustang and we did some changes with the hood, the air intake, wheels, tires, suspension, modifications, exhaust, made the engine breathe better so it had more horsepower. So there was a lot of those kind of things that we did in 65 to take the regular Mustang and just put it at the next level, right? You aspire to do more, you aspire for better performance. That car won national championships in B production. Okay, we continue to this day doing the same kinds of things. So when you look at a 2025 GT350, okay, we actually changed the entire hood. This is an entire new aluminum hood that we designed at Shelby with the deep draw vent there, which is actually very functional with the way the air moves and keeps the hood, the heat down under the hood, and also has airflow coming out over the top, which reduces lift at high speed. So when you start looking at this thing, it's also very, very functional. Underneath the hood is a 5-liter 32-valve double overhead cam V8, just like Ford builds. We add a 3-liter Whipple supercharger. This one makes 810 horsepower.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the only problem that you have there is trying to keep the tires from not smoking.
Well, yeah, but that's a lot of the fun.
Well, there is that, yes.
By the way, that power still comes in really handy when you get past 60 miles an hour.
Yes, I can only imagine. And I would imagine you could probably light the tires at 60 miles an hour, depending on what gear you're in.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah. So
and I didn't just read it on the internet.
He keeps smiling as he says that.
I know.
So one of the things that I gathered from all of this is the fact that, really the Shelby modifications that are done to today's car are a direct reflection of the first Shelby AC Cobra.
Yeah. So the formula is very similar.
Yes.
Okay. We take a, fairly regular or ordinary car and we make it spectacular, right? And we've got a team of people at Shelby American today that do those things. And it's really about the people. So if you guys have seen the movie Ford versus Ferrari,
of course,
you'll realize that it's not just Carroll Shelby. It wasn't just Henry Ford that won those races. It was the people behind the scenes, the Ken Miles and the Phil Remingtons and the engineers at Ford and stuff that made that car what it was and made that car win. That's really what makes it happen. And that same formula is used today. So we go beyond that with just what's in the front, the unique front end with kind of a Shelby look, because there's a lot of people that modify Shelbys, but we want to make sure when you look at one, you'll know right away that it's a Shelby. So the signature look in the grille tells you it's a Shelby. The function tells you it's a Shelby. We'll go to the back of the car. And on the way back, we can look at things like in the interior. You look at the leather. Kind of a snakeskin look.
All right.
You look at the ID badge. Have them check out the ID badge, Scott. Okay, so that's got a unique Shelby serial number. That we keep in a registry with the unique Ford serial number, so that we can tell if somebody were to come here and steal all the parts off of this car and put it on their car, we would know that that's not a true Shelby. Okay, we keep those company records to protect people's investments. So if we keep going to the back, you see the optional weight, you see the ductile spoiler. All these are very functional items that also help keep the car planted on the ground. So you mentioned traction and the ability to hook up 810 horsepower. You need a little bit of speed. This isn't just for off the line, but when you get to some speed, then you get some airflow here, and that actually adds downforce to the back of the car. If you look, we've got the double dual exhaust. It's a Shelby exhaust tips. Shelby badge on the tail. Again, more of this in the stock. So this car is clearly the most powerful, fastest GT350 we've ever produced.
Did that car actually go down the assembly line at Ford Motor Company at some point?
So at one point, this car did go down the Ford assembly line at Flat Rock, Michigan. However, after that happened, we take that off-site and modify it at our facility.
How do you select which one comes off the line to go to your site?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
How do you select the car that comes off the line to go over to your facility?
Yeah, so what we do is, as a team, we look at the base car that we want, and we spec out the base car that we want. So it's got certain features already that'll make it easier for us to make modifications to it. So we have a spec that we basically say, we want this car. We give them that. We have a bailment vehicle account, and that we get those cars. That way they're very, repeated.
What happens to the parts that you take off that are stock car parts from Ford Motor Company? What happens to those parts that you take off and replace with Shelby stuff?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. We would love to be able to say we give them back to people that will own these cars, but then we have a warehouse full of parts. We've tried that, doesn't work. So we actually just resell those, and you really only get pennies on the dollar for those. But there's actually, if you go to eBay, which is where we sell most of that stuff through the Shelby account, you can buy virtually brand new parts for your car for a fraction of the cost.
Wow.
That's not
That
that's
is
sweet.
nice. Yeah.
Let me write that down.
Write that down. Make a note of that.
The last time I saw you, you were with Danny Coker on one of his episodes of his show.
Yeah, Danny's a great guy. He's right there in Las Vegas. He's very much a Shelby enthusiast. He's got a GT350 from 65.
Right.
He's had numerous Shelbys over the years as well, Shelby Series 1, and some more modern Shelby Mustangs too. And he's actually modified some of the cars that we've done with custom paint jobs and things like that. He's even had customers that would have him do something special for things that they want to personalize. And we built the engine on a 69 GT500 for Danny Coker and his team when they presented that Shelby back to the customer.
Yeah, that white
So
GT.
we've got that kind of connections.
The white GT350 was his father's, I believe.
Yeah, so that was cool. But the latest one we did was a red 69 that he did for a customer. So
Very cool.
We did the engine on that car.
How does a person go about buying a Shelby Mustang, a brand new one? Do I order it through you? Do I go to my Ford dealer? How does that work?
Well, I'd start out on the website and kind of look at Shelby.com. We've got build ones, so you can kind of mock it up the way you'd want it to be, and you'll get an idea what the specs are and the price will be and so forth. Then we have about 200 Ford dealers that Shelby American works with. So if you contact a Shelby representative, they can get you closest to a dealer in your area, and you can purchase the cars there. And if they don't have one, they can do a dealer trade and get you one.
Can you special order one?
You can spec and order one, but then you'd have to go to one of those 200 dealers. The Shelby American team can help direct you to who those dealers are, and you can spec it out with that person. And then, based on what you want, then you can say, oh, well, I like the white one with the blue stripes, or maybe you want one of a different color.
Does
this is
the
the red one with white stripes?
Yeah.
Right?
Does the latest 2025 version, do they all come with the same engine?
Yes, they're all 5-liter engines. Most of them come supercharged. If you're in a agreed state, and once you order it through the dealer, we can actually install the supercharger on site because we have a retail buyer. If you don't, then we have to deliver it naturally aspirated to the dealer. Then afterward, you put the supercharger on. But for most people in brown states, we put them on right at the factory.
Nice. What is the general price, if there is such a thing, for a
general price?
Yeah, for a
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah,
they start about with the supercharger. They're about $110,000 for a GT350 with 810 horsepower.
What is the 500? And what's the
There
difference?
is no 500 currently.
Okay, there is no 500 currently, so all you can buy is a 350. Darn. Well, I'm thoroughly impressed, and the price is not that far out of this world that a regular guy couldn't go and afford to buy one and get financing for it.
Correct, and you can finance the car through Ford Motor Credit if that's something that you're interested in.
Does it come with a warranty?
Yeah, 3 years, 36,000 miles.
Wow. A factory hot rod, baby,
with 810 horsepower,
with a warranty on it.
I'm in.
That's incredible. So, are you there demonstrating cars today? You got a static display. Tell me about the event that you're in.
Yeah, so Carlisle Events put this on every year in June, and this is in our case at this particular time, especially with the weather the way it is today, there is no demonstrations. So it's a static display. We have stuff here. We have stuff on the center stage. But last year, I know when we had a little better weather, there were over 3,500 Ford-based vehicles here. And more than half of those were Mustangs.
Wow.
Okay. We also had the largest club in attendance a couple years ago with Team Shelby, who brought over 440 Shelby Mustangs to this specific event. We won't have as many this year. A few rain clouds dampened that, but that doesn't mean we won't in the future. So
Gary,
we're excited for the people that we're
What's the website where everybody can go and get all the information on this?
So you can go to Shelby.com.
Shelby, SHELBY.com.
That's
Gary,
easy.
it is great to talk to you. Thanks so much for taking the time out to talk to us
Fantastic.
today. And let's stay in touch. You got something new coming up, give us a call.
Absolutely, Michael. You know we're working on the next one.
All right,
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks again. Okay. Gary Peterson with the Shelby American group up there at the
What a guy.
Carlisle Ford Nationals.
How'd you like to be him?
No kidding. Just ahead, a review of the 2025 Buick Envista, a little bit different than the Shelby. And we'll also have Jeff's Motor Minute after a quick break here on the InWheelTime Car Talk Show. The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. The InWheelTime Car Talk Show thanks you for 14 wonderful years. Yep, our first show aired May 7th, 2011 on a local radio station. Then it was a move to the digital world and social media, and you followed. Thank you. We continue to build and grow our fan base, and it's all because of you and your auto enthusiast friends. We appreciate your support. It's always great to see you at our remote broadcasts, and we hope you'll continue to stop by and say hello. It's been a great ride, and we hope to bring you more fun and adventure right here on the InWheelTime Car Talk Show. Hey, our last stop on the InWheelTime Spring Tour happens June the 12th, and it is still spring officially, by the way. That's happening up in Granbury, Texas. We'll be hitting the road on Friday to our live broadcast up there, a 3-hour broadcast next Saturday at the Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run. That live broadcast will air at a special time, 9 to noon.
Yep.
3 hours next Saturday, and we hope that you will join us. If you can't join us in Granbury, then we invite you to join us here on our broadcast. Time now for the Motor Minute.
Yep.
Jeff has that.
Here we go. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. represents Hulk Hogan's beer brand with an American flag-themed car in the next race at Michigan. Now, there's a lot of celebrities. They have their tequila. They got their coffees and everything. This is a beer. The red, white, and blue will be traveling 400 miles this weekend in Michigan, thanks to Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He'll be representing Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer on the number 47 this Sunday at Michigan International Speedway for the Firekeepers Casino 400, and the car will be themed in an American flag.
How patriotic.
Now, this is a quote from the Hulk. Brother, Michigan knows how to throttle up, and it does real American beer. Hogan says in this statement, we're back on track in the fight, and there's no better time to crack one open and let it rip. That's Hulk Hogan.
Thank you for explaining that, because we didn't quite get it.
The Hike Motorsports underscores American real beer theme committed to NASCAR. Hogan's brand was founded in June of 2024 and is available in 27 states.
Hogan beer.
Hulk Hogan, brother.
Wonder who actually brews it.
I don't know, but I pity the fool. Oh,
That's
the
the
other
wrong
guy.
one.
That was the other guy, sorry.
Wouldn't that be Mr. T?
That
or
would be
something?
Mr. T.
Yeah.
I think
When you
he's
said the Hulk earlier, I was thinking about the big green guy. I was going, what does he sound like?
Not the Hulk.
the Hulk. Hogan. That's right, brother.
Thank you,
Oh,
Jeff,
my
for
God.
that entertaining piece of
All right.
information.
Don't forget to tip your waitress.
Yeah. Today's average marketed price of a vehicle, average, as of yesterday, $50,157.
Oh, man.
$50,000 for average price of a car. So now, with that in mind, here's a review of the 2025 Buick Envista.
Can't wait.
It is built in the final assembly location at Byupyong, Korea. This is a Korean vehicle, believe it or not. Available trim levels, Preferred, Sport Touring, and Avenir. I got to drive the Avenir, top of the line. This is a small, what they consider a small station wagon. We'd like to consider it more of a SUV, but they still have a station wagon designation for whatever reason. I don't get all that.
That's your government.
I guess so. Seats 5. It's a small SUV. All new for 2023. Ours was a 25 model. Simple shark nose front fascia is sleek, modern, and yet aggressive looking. Fastback rear hatch adds to its wind-cheating look. Sculpted sides with a sharp lower body crease draws your eyes down there to the big 19-inch Avenir wheels. What I liked about it? Everything. Sporty, high zoot looks. What could use improvement? Beats me. I don't know. I love this thing. Interior highlights, 2 displays in one attractive, well-vetted display draws your eye to that on the top of the dash. HVAC controls and center vent below the touch screen. Nice little touch there. Comfortable seating made with upscale materials. Yes, believe it or not, legroom for back seat passengers. Cargo room is small with the rear seat up. Obviously, with the rear seat down, plenty of room for most people. What I liked about it, the overall high marks for use of such a small space. What could use improvement? Anything that raises the price is an absolute no-no, and I'll tell you about that coming up here in just a second. The engine, questionable, 1.2-liter itty-bitty, teeny-weeny turbocharged 3-cylinder. Horsepower, 137 whopping horsepower with 162 pound-feet of torque through a 6-speed automatic transmission. It's front-wheel drive only. Miles per gallon. Score some points here. 28 miles per gallon in the city. Highway of 32 for a combined of 30. I got 30.7 over 320.4 miles. What I liked about it? Fuel economy. What could use improvement? At times, the engine and transmission don't like to dance together nicely. And I say that because if you're trying to squirt across an intersection or, like a two-way boulevard and you've got to get to the middle, it could take a second or two, depending how quick you are from the brake to the accelerator pedal. And if there's any movement in the car, it doesn't quite understand it. If you start from a dead stop, not a problem. But you know how you kind of creep just a little bit? Don't do that.
No creeping.
No creeping. And you know all about creeping.
You get in trouble with that.
A white van.
But other than that, I am an aggressive 2-foot driver in an automatic transmission, and I will readily admit to that. So part of the problem there is me. Well, most of the problem is me. Ride and handling, sporty. What could use any improvement? Well, a little more Buick compliance would be okay with me because it's sporty. It's got a sporty ride to it. And, being old school that I am, I'm used to a more compliant ride. But it's not. It's a today's style ride. Base trim price, $28,600. Let me repeat that. Base trim price, that's the Avenir, $28,600. Price is tested $30,690. Remember I told you what today's average price of a vehicle is, $50,000? If you want to get into one of these, the base model price, drum roll, $22,900.
Howdy doody.
Yeah. They've hit the sweet spot as far as I'm concerned. And I think that this would be a great ride for a newer family. Just got married, got a baby perhaps, and you need a little bit more room. This is something you definitely want to consider. Now, its cousin is the Chevy Trax.
Yeah.
Okay?
Which I think is bigger.
And it starts at $20,500.
I like the little Trax. I don't think it's got as much
Flair.
flair as the Buick by any means.
I agree.
But,
Well, Chevy branded, yeah. They're a little
It's
bit.
the same vehicle, basically, just a little bit different body
Cool.
style. So that's 25,000. I'm sorry, 20,500. Mazda CX-30 is a competitor. It starts at 24,995, and the VW Taos is also a competitor, and it's the same starting price as the Mazda CX-30 at 24,995.
Taos, I saw one the other day. That's a pretty good looking little vehicle.
It is. It is. It's a Volkswagen,
Yeah.
but you know what? If I had my choice, I'd buy that Buick.
Yeah, I would
yeah,
too. You know,
particularly for that price.
and that review is so good. Can you do it again? Because it's
Yeah. Wait till we get to your car. Oh, I think I've already reviewed your
we're going to
car.
need a 4-hour show for that.
Yeah. I really think that it's worth considering if you're looking for a small SUV. It's screwed together really well.
The SUV moniker doesn't do any. Mine is more of an SUV because I've got the Envision, which is the step. It's the second. Yeah, it's a step up.
Yeah,
from
so it's a little bit bigger
Right,
than this one.
right.
The Invista.
Yeah, this would be more like maybe a hatchback.
yeah,
size.
Yeah.
Well, and
I
it's
would
got
agree
that
with
fastback rear hatch.
Yeah.
And I guess that's why they come up with the station wagon designation for it. I'm going, a station wagon?
No.
I don't believe I've driven a station wagon in a long time until this. This is called a station wagon.
I know, but
I'd
that's what
agree
I'm
with
saying.
you.
So you're trying to convince somebody like my wife that this would be a car you'd want to drive. And the station wagon, it's gone.
Yeah.
But it's a hot hatchback. Well, now maybe.
It's like the old Mazda 3,
SUV.
the wagon Mazda 3 hatchback. Yeah.
Do they make any hot hatches anymore?
Nah, I think the Volkswagen Golf is about gone. I think it was about the last one. I think.
Well, that's now the
Well,
GTI.
Yeah.
Maybe they're trying to
GTI,
rename
you're
it.
right.
And the only thing with the GTI is that they're not making a manual transmission in that anymore. You have to buy the automatic.
And I noticed on the pictures that you're showing, it had the shifter on the console between the seats, whereas mine is up on the stick, the push button up on the stick,
Yeah.
which is a big difference.
So you have a stick.
It's on the turn signal area. Well, it's the shifter.
Right.
It's like a 3 on the tree. With this push button.
Right. Yeah. You still got
That great big huge Suburban that I've got out there that's the size of a
saw
football
that.
field.
Yeah.
That thing is so big, I can't believe it. But it's got the same kind of shifter that you're referring to.
Well, Cadillac has that too. Well,
And
Cadillac had the thing before where you
it's
had
fine.
on the ball on the.
Yeah, no. You know, my idea of the shifter, unless it's a real sports car, you don't need the paddle shifters
No.
in it.
No.
Although the Suburban's got paddle shifters in it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Mine does too. And
Is it four-wheel drive?
That one? I don't recall. Probably. It's the high country, so it's loaded up with everything.
I bet you that's why.
You got the paddle shifters, plus and minus, and then underneath that, on the left side is the radio changing
Correct.
channel, and then you have
Same.
the volume. So if you miss the volume, you're in fifth gear, dropping down to sixth. I've done that a couple of times. Whoa, crazy.
Well,
Good stuff.
You know, this is a great buy in my opinion. And if you're out looking for a small SUV, check it out, the Buick Invista.
Buick.
That's my review. Okay. Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address here is info@InWheelTime.com. We are back right after this quick break. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning InWheelTime Car Talk Show now reaches 5.3 million folks each year. Check us out on InWheelTime.com, the Odyssey Radio app, YouTube, Facebook, and just about every other entertainment source out there, including our live broadcast every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time. The InWheelTime Car Talk Show has informative automotive guest interviews, new car reviews, along with popular features including Jeff's Car Culture, the latest new cars, cruise-ins, and racing dates. It's InWheelTime.com. Join us.